Hey everybody, so a question we get all the time is where do we get our games from? And this is one of our primary sources. So we are at an auction in Denton, Texas at the moment. So I'm going to actually walk through and show you what games are available and some cool stuff that they have here. Okay, so let's lead off with the belle of the ball here. So this is The Walking Dead environmental cabinet. It's a really cool game. I don't know what this is going to go for. I'm guessing somewhere in the 8 to 10 range, but we'll see. So this is really exciting. We'd love to see this in the Flower Mountain Arcade 92. So, all right, I'm going to kind of just go down the line here. All right, so this is like a prize redemption game. Cruising Exotica. This is WrestleFest. I've actually always wanted WrestleFest, but this one is a they converted the CRT monitor to LCD, so we try to stay away from that. Arkanoid, one of my favorite games. Double Dragon. This Double Dragon looks pretty cool. Double Dragons always have monitor issues, so I'm always gun shy to get one of those. G-Lock. It's kind of like a Afterburner kind of style game. These are multicade, so if you have like a game room where you want to have like a bunch of games in one, this would be a good idea. You can see how simple the control panel is, and it's not specific to any game. So, but as you could also see, a lot of things at the auction are, for renovators that are going to fix stuff up because, that monitor's got some problems. Claw machine for your kid's bedroom from CC's apparently. This one is actually, maybe this is more the belle of the ball, but this one's really neat. This is Johnny Nero's Action Hero. This is back from 2004. And it's a gun game, as you can see, but it's a really unique game. You don't see these. I think this is the first one I've ever seen, but it's kind of like this comic, following this comic character, and there's like 3 different comics you could play through. Like one is like fighting these aliens, and then another one is like in Egypt, and then the other one is like this Western thing. So it's kind of cool because it's 3 kind of completely unrelated things that kind of play like an action comic book. So that's kind of cool. 20-year reunion Miss Pac-Man Galaga. A sit-down Cruising World. Actually, that's a monitor conversion. I was about to say, almost always the monitors on these are bad, but that one's a modern monitor. This is pretty amazing here, too. This is a Terminator Salvation. So we have one of these at both McKinney and Flower Mound Arcade 92 locations, and it's a great game. It really is well put together. A Street Fighter 2. So this one, okay, they're coming my way, so I'm actually going to go the other direction here for a moment.
25, 25 on the monitors, 25, all 3 with 1 money, 25, 25, it'd be 25, and 25, 25, and $10.
They're selling monitors right now.
$10 where? All the monitors, $10. 10 with me, 10, 20, 10, 20 with me, 20, 20, 20, 20 with it, 20, 20 with it, $20 where? Selling these 3, I'm 10, now 20. 10,
okay.
20, 20,
While they're doing that, I'm going to go over here just so you could actually hear me. These games are all turned off, but they've already been sold. So the cool thing is that you could see some of the prices. So this is House of the Dead, sold for $700. As far as I could tell, it worked great. Golden Tee for $2,200. Lethal Enforcers 2 for $350. It's actually a great game, but it has a lot of reliability issues. Here's another multicade. Again, has a bunch of games in it. Very generic control panel. $275. Neo Geo 325. This one had some issues, if I can remember right. This one's pretty cool. I remember when these came in, let's see, 2017, 2018, at like Dave & Buster's and such. To the auctions. So, sold for $1,500. A really beat up Phoenix. It's in need of some restoration. $275. Zombie Raid for $700. This is actually a fun game. I've been wanting to get one for the arcade, but I just don't have a good place for it. Dead Storm Pirates. This sold for $1,300. Good simple multiplayer game, gun game. Robotron and Joust. This is not obviously a Robotron or a Joust. It's kind of a newer modified cabinet. This is Miss Pac-Man, but it did not work. It's $300 for non-working Miss Pac-Man. Redemption game, prize game. Fruit Ninja sold for $16.50, so I'm actually considering getting one of these soon. And Guitar Hero for $67.50. So I remember in 2019 we bought ours for our McKinney location for $1,700. So that has definitely changed. Look at this beast. $10,500 for this monster. It's a VR Rabbids game. Silver Strike Bowling for $5.50. Super heavy cabinet. My gosh, I've moved a couple of these. Brutal. 2000. I believe this one didn't work. $150. So there's also some pinball machines here. There's only 3 of them. Terminator 2, which is super cool. $2,300. That's actually pretty great. Striker. And this is NASCAR by Stern. I sold for $1,900, I think. So it's pretty cheap for these. Also, I know I'm not remembering this right, but I don't want to say that NASCAR was Stern's first pinball, but I know it was like one of the first. Now, put in comments if you remember, because I honestly don't remember. But if it wasn't the first, it was like in the first 3 or 4. So cool to see that. Some gambling games. This is fun. So if you guys want this for your living room, the Talking Parrot.
All right, here we go on the cotton candy machine. 100 now 125. 100 now 125 and 125 and 125 and 125 and 125. All
right, we're gonna go back over where it's loud. We're selling a cotton candy machine right now. A very Japanese cotton candy machine. Claw machines. So we've got a Street Fighter 2 over here. This is called a Big Blue cabinet. It's like a very generic. So, yeah, it's all right. These are fun when you can find these together. This is a Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. It'd be really cool to have a game room and have 2 of these together. Skee Ball, kinda. It's a Miss Pac-Man. Off-Road Challenge, a Tekken 4. And this is really cool. This is the Super Nintendo system that they put in arcades. And you had 3 choices. You had Super Mario World, F-Zero, which I love F-Zero, and Mario Kart. So kind of cool. Look at these controllers. Very cool. All right, I think this is a Beachhead. No, it's not a Beachhead. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like a Beachhead, though. Revolution X, which is a super cool game. We have one of these that's about to be back in Flower Mound. We just got done fixing ours up. That's a game based on Aerosmith, so it's hard to get more 90s than that. There you go. This is a Cruising USA. You see how red that monitor is? Like, it seems like everyone I've ever seen has a issue with the monitor. Sega Enduro Racer. Cool handlebars. Another Street Fighter 2. This is, again, a very generic cabinet, which was pretty typical for Street Fighters. Okay, so almost made it all the way around. We're going to go back. Actually, we're going to go to the project section here in just a moment, but let's do this section right here. There's a House of the Dead 2, which is pretty cool because you got House of the Dead 1 over there, and then House of the Dead 2 right here. But this one went for $700. This has got to be a custom creation, but this is Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt together. So super cool. I remember the NES game cartridge that came with a combo in the action set, but I've never seen an arcade like that. Oh, went for $950 by the way. Neo Geo $350. I think this one had issues. Frogger went for $800. Again, this one worked fine. This is just they finished this section. This Frogger was actually great, very impressive. I also for $650. That's pretty cheap. So maybe I missed it. Maybe something's not working properly with this one. A Play Choice 10, which is NES. This one definitely needs some love, but it's still sold for $1,000. So it needs a bit of renovation work, but functionally it seemed like it was fine. Killer Instinct 2. So $2,100 for that one. That went higher than I expected for sure, but not terribly. It's a great game to have. Nintendo really had a good rival for Mortal Kombat, but Mortal Kombat just still just the dominant force. So over here is kind of what was called like the project section. So like this is actually a NFL Blitz, but it wasn't. It's got a multicade in it, but the cabinet is great. So if somebody wanted to convert this to an actual NFL Blitz, it'd be great. Dart game. Okay, so over here is we hope for as an arcade. We hope the renovators come through here and then buy these things for super cheap. It's like this same as Pac-Man right here. You can buy this for like $50. I bet you this sells for $50, maybe even 25. Yeah, probably 25. And then they renovate this and sell it to arcades like us for like, $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever. So, anyways, that's this section. This is a very hacked up old Ring King, Neo Geo, Trivia Whiz. I have no idea what this used to be. Actually, it looks like maybe like a Defender. Used to be a Defender, maybe. Invasion, another gun game, and of course a Galaga here. So again, same story. That Galaga doesn't work. It's seen much better days. Got some water damage, but somebody will spend $25, $50 on this thing and bring it back to life. So that's what we hope for. Arctic Thunder, Neo Geo, obviously needs renovating. Nothing in there. Area 51. Actually, this cabinet, I think, was a Primal Rage. Or maybe a Pit Fighter, but probably a Primal Rage. So you can see how it's been converted. Mechanized Attack 4, but that's a very generic cabinet. It's definitely seen better days. A Tekken 3, Maximum Force, and then under Street Fighter 2. So, but you can see this one's been a pretty rough conversion to the monitor. So it's not very well done. So, and then we're back here at The Walking Dead. So, anyways, that was everything here. So we're just gonna go up and see what he's selling right now, and just do another short video on how the bidding works.
325, 325, 325, 300 now, 325, that's 3.5, 3.5, 375, 375, 75, 375, 75, 375, 75, 375, now 400, now 4.5, 4.5, what do you mean 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, I'm 400 now, 4.5, what do you mean 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, internet is out, I'm 400 on the floor, now 4.5, 4.5, what do you mean 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, what do you think, internet, 4.5, 4.5, what do you mean 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, gotta go, 400 now, 4.5, what do you mean 4.5, now 5, 4.5, I have 5, now 5.5, 5.5, 5, now 600, now 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7, now 7.5, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9, 1,000, 1,050, 1,050, 1,100, 11.5, 11.5, 11.5, 12, 12.5, 12.5, 15, 13, 13.5, 13.5, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14.5, 14.5, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, now 15.5, 15.5, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16.5, 6.5, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, I'm 1,650, now 17, 17, would be 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 16.5, now 17, last call, 6.5, now 17, 17, 17, 17, 1,700, what do you think? Sold at 1,650, buyer number 32.
Okay, we're selling a Miss Pac-Man.
I'm 300 now, 3.5, 3.5, original game, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 300. I'm 300 bid, now 3.5, now 400, Now 4.5. 4.5 with me, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. I'm 400 now, 4.5 with me, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Miss Pac-Man it is, 4.5. 400 now, 4.5 with me, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. I'm 400 now, 4.5 with me, 4.5. Last call, 400 now, 4.5. With me, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5.
This should easily sell for about $800.
Sold at $400, buyer number.
That's shocking.
5056.
So, cabinet's pretty beat up, but they typically, that sucker would sell for $800 to $1,000. So, it's really surprising.
50 where? 50 would it be 50, 50, 50. You have 50? 50 where? 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 $50. Who give me started $50 on this one right here? 50 would it be 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 25. 25 would it be 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25.
Interesting. I'm really surprised it didn't sell for more.
25 would it be 25, 25. Basket fever, 25. Now 50. 20,000 now 32 and a half. 3,000 now 32 and a half. Would it be 32 and a half? Would it 32 and a half? Would it 32 and a half? I'm 3,000 now 32 and a half. Would it be 32 and a half? Would it 32 and a half? Would it 32 and a half? 3,000 now 32 and a half. Would it be 32 and a half? Would it 32 and a half? 3,000 now 32 and a half. Would it 32 and a half? Would it 32 and a half? Would it be 32 and a half? 3,000 now 32 and a half. 3,000 now 32 and a half. Would it be 32? Would it 32 and a half? 2 and a half. 2 and a half. Would it 32 and a half? What do you think? 3,000 now 31. Now 32. 32 would it be 32? 32 would it 32? 32 would it 3,200? On 3,100 now 32. 31 now 32 minute 32 32 minute 32 32 minute 3,200. I'm 3,100 now 32 minute 32 32 minute 3,200. I'm 3,100. Internet, you are out. 3,100 now 32 32 minute 32 32 minute 32 32 minute 32 32 minute 3,200. I'm 3,100 now 32 minute 32 32 minute 3,200. I'm 3,100 now 32 minute 32 32 32 minute 3,200. I'm 3,100 now 32 32 32 minute 3,200. Guys, help yourself right here, boys. Super Nintendo Super System right here. You're getting it all. 31 now 32. 31 now 32 would be 32 32 32 32 3,200. I'm 31. I thought this would go a lot higher. 31 now 32.